Well, they out of time. Man, listen, let's address the elephant in the room. First of all, no, I am not at the NFL Combine, which absolutely sucks. Today was the only day I wanted to go. Couldn't make it. Life be life. And you know how it is. Husband, father. Sometimes you got to take a back seat, which sucks, man. I wanted to see the D lineman that we were going to draft. So shout out to everybody that could make it, man. But I'm still here to give you your Detroit Lions content and news and rumors that has something to do, whether directly or indirectly, with the Detroit Lions. And that is, I've been saying this for months now. It's been months. Yeah, ever since weeks, ever since the NFL season has ended, and we have learned the stance on defensive end Myles Garrett. Now, you might be tired of the Myles Garrett videos, and I feel sorry for you. I really do, because when you have a unicorn like Myles Garrett and your team has the chance to acquire him, you have to pound the table. Nobody is laying off this, all right? So I don't know what to tell you. Many other channels you can watch, but hopefully you're still choosing to rock with me. Now, what am I referring to? Well, this thing has been a big deal, and I was one of the first to talk about that this thing was going to be a saga. As a matter of fact, I will link the video here if I remember that this thing, the Myles Garrett saga, had just begun. And it started with Myles Garrett at the end of the Cleveland Browns season, right before the NFL playoffs, saying that he wanted to know basically what the Cleveland Browns were going to do in order to show him, how are you going to get this team out of the dumps to a Super Bowl contender? And he said he was willing to give the team the opportunity to explain their plan to him. Well, after that, Andrew Berry, which is the general manager for the Cleveland Browns, comes out and says that there's no amount of draft capital, I'm paraphrasing here, that would make them part with Myles Garrett. So after I heard that, I knew that it was going to be a problem, because you know what Myles wants. You come out and you make a statement. The first thing I thought was, did you communicate with Myles? Because listen, to all my ladies out there, the few ladies that watch this channel, it's something, the most important thing to a man is respect. That's 100%. And I'm only saying this to the ladies because men, we know this. We don't care about a lot of things. We got to be able to take care of our family, and we got to get respect. So if you're going to come and you're going to say something without consulting with me, that's where you feel disrespected. All right. So then we hear that. I'm assuming a conversation between Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns where they laid out their plan for the future. Here's what we're going to do with Deshaun Watson. This is what we're going to do with this year's draft pick, blah, blah, blah. Myles he doesn't like what he hears. So he comes out on February 2nd, which has it's been 25 days since this happened. He comes out the week leading up to the Super Bowl, February 2nd, that he is formally requesting a trade. All right. After that, he goes on Radio Row. The first thing he says is he wants a trade. Rich Eisen asked him, hey, if they paid you, it's not about the money. I want to win championships. I basically want a legacy of not being a loser. Again, that latter part, paraphrasing. After that, Andrew Berry comes out and he says, he keeps reiterating that he will not trade Myles Garrett. But before we go and look at what Andrew Berry said, here's coming from Ari Miroff. Check this out. This thing is a done deal. Myles Garrett will not take another snap for the Cleveland Browns. Says Browns defensive end Myles Garrett is unwilling to negotiate a contract extension with the organization, as his agents have apparently slammed the door on any discussions, per Mary Kay Cabot. Now, this was the same individual that was reporting those things about Zadarius Smith leading up to the trade deadline. Garrett remains firm. He no longer wants to be in Cleveland. This stuff is not a coincidence. Just like Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford running into each other at a ski resort in Montana, and it was not planned at all, just coincidence. The timing of this information coming from Mary is not a coincidence. What am I referring to? Well, let me show you. This is coming from Nolan Bianchi's Twitter account. And here's what Andrew Berry had to say yesterday at the Combine about Myles Garrett and the potential for trading him. Now, you're not going to hear the question. You're going to have to piece this together from Andrew Berry's his response. But listen to this.
Yeah, Tony, I think if you by that you mean the trade requests, I think trade requests, they happen across the league all the time. And I think, at times for individual players that they'll have certain interests during different parts of their career, whether they're a young player, a veteran player, things like that. It's not unusual. It's not the first for us. It probably won't be the last. It's not the first across the league. But we respect and appreciate Myles, and like I said, we're not interested in making.
All right. What did you get from that? What did you get from Andrew Berry's response? I got a lot of smugness. I got complete disrespect, disregard. How can you say in one breath that you respect and appreciate Myles, but yet in the same breath you say we're not interested? This guy, meaning Myles Garrett, has made it extremely clear that he was willing to work with you. And let's not forget, Cleveland, you drafted him because you sucked. He came to your organization after the Cleveland Browns had the first pick in the NFL draft, which means you have to be the worst team in the NFL. I'm telling you something you don't already know, but you have to be the worst team in the NFL to get that pick. I came to you, you sucked. You still suck. It's like the Detroit Lions allowing Matthew Stafford after 12 seasons to not only grant his trade request, but pick the team that he most likely wanted to go to, which was the LA Rams. I said that Myles Garrett was going to, what did I just say? That you have to feel respected. Men, they require respect. That's one thing above all else is respect, right? So I knew that Andrew Berry is coming out. Myles is sitting there. When I saw this yesterday, I said, this is a measuring contest. That's what this is. Who's going to budge first? Who is going to give up their position first? Myles Garrett. Now you might be saying, and here's the thing that bothers me about Detroit Lions fans, all right? We keep talking about the money. Myles Garrett is not, if we were to trade for him, we are not thinking about a contract extension. That's the first thing I hear from everybody. You know why we're not thinking about it? He's not thinking about it. Myles Garrett is not thinking about a contract extension. Contract extension means more money. He is not thinking about that. He has enough of that. It's not from his mouth. It's not about the money. It is about winning a championship. He wants to leave a legacy. There's no doubt Myles Garrett is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's still got a lot of years left. Now, I think this is a mistake for the Cleveland Browns. This is going to get nasty. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better. But coming out of this, Myles Garrett will not be a Cleveland Brown because once you get disrespected enough, you're not going to do anything. I think that Myles Garrett has taken his last snap for the Cleveland Browns. He's let that known. And now the relationship between the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett is irreconcilable. This is straight up divorce. Irreconcilable differences, meaning it ain't coming back together. It ain't no amount of time. No amount of time. You can tell I've been through a divorce. No amount of time that this stuff is coming together, right? This relationship is irreconcilable. So how can the Detroit Lions swoop in, be one of the teams? Now, let's not get it twisted. It's going to be 31 teams that's going to bid on Myles Garrett. If the Cleveland Browns are going to honor him, which they seem like they're not. See, I could see Cleveland doing something shady. I could see them doing something shady and just discarding him because he doesn't have a no trade clause. They could just throw him to any team, and that would be absolutely dirty. Isn't it kind of crazy how you let Zadarius, you do right by him, but the guy that you picked first overall and you want to build a foundation and you want to build the team around, he gave you the opportunity to do that. You traded away Baker Mayfield. Then now all of a sudden you're not going to honor or respect him. It's been almost a decade that Myles Garrett has been putting his team on his back. And you make a dumb decision like what turned to be trading for Deshaun Watson. Okay? I don't blame him. Myles Garrett, that is. But could the Detroit Lions be one of the teams to swoop in? Brad Holmes said the other day at the Combine, probably not. Then we found out yesterday that he called allegedly, reportedly, supposedly, to inquire about Myles Garrett. I think that conversations between the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett and other teams are going to now go into place because he's not going to do anything on the team, so you might as well get capital for him. And now, to me, and I said this yesterday, your draft capital has gone down because now, and Myles is kind of smart, bro, because now you're putting this stuff in the street. And this measuring contest that's going on between the two of them, now, to me, in my opinion, it's lowering his draft capital. Because if the Cleveland Browns keep it too high, no team is going to budge. If it's too low, then it hurts them. So right now, if you keep it high, he's not going to play for you. If you keep it high and you can't move him, he's not going to play for you. Once somebody is done, and my ladies know this, man. Once you're done with somebody, you done, right? You are done. When you say it's over, it's over. I'm sure some fellas like that too, but mostly it's the ladies. When it's over, it's over. Fellas, you know when it's over, right? It ain't no coming back from that. So right now, the ball is in. To me, I see now that Myles Garrett, even though he's contractually obligated to the Cleveland Browns, I think he holds all the power. I really do. It's his services that they want. He's not worried. When you have nothing to lose, you are frightening. You are frightening. If you have no fear holding you back, what can they do? Penalize him by money? He doesn't need any money. He wants to win. Maybe Myles Garrett and the way that he's feeling will help you guys understand how I feel about the Detroit Lions. And I'm sure many of you do as well. This is not about 15-2. This is not about the first seed. This is not about winning the division. This is about winning a Super Bowl, something they can never take away from us. Something we've never done. They can never, ever take away from us. So let me know. I think Brad Holmes, Brad Holmes has pulled off some stuff. And the good news is he already has a relationship sort of with Andrew Berry because we traded for Zadarius Smith. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Andrew would be like, look, we did business with you before, man. We'll do business again. Let me see what you're talking about. That's why I said Brad Holmes can't blow this opportunity. And if you're talking about extensions, ain't nobody. See, here's the beauty part. Here's what I love. Everyone else is talking. You notice this? Everyone else is talking about extending Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett. The man said he doesn't care about money, yet everyone else, Detroit Lions fans, pundits, media people, they are talking about, well, he's going to require an extension. He ain't talking about that. He talking about winning, because I guarantee this man is at the point that if you guaranteed him a Super Bowl in 2 years, he would leave probably everything on the table. The thing is, will Brad Holmes make the move? Will the Lions be enticing enough to show him that, hey, we can get this done? Because the Eagles have proven it, right? I don't think he gets traded to the AFC. So right now, if I'm a Detroit Lions fan, I'm looking at Philadelphia or Washington. That's what I'm looking at, especially now with Jonathan Allen being up on the trade block or granted permission to seek a trade, even though they play two different positions. Myles Garrett making $20 million or whatever it is. He ain't thinking about 3 years from now. He's thinking about right now. I want to win right now. If he was thinking about money 3 years from now, he would be the highest paid defender because the Cleveland Browns would make him that. So Brad Holmes, this is what I'm saying, y'all. And this is why I won't get off this. You got a unicorn situation. Brad Holmes must give it 100%. I know the draft. I know it's deep and we can still do all of that stuff. I saw a mock draft that the Cleveland Browns are maybe taking a defender, or they might take Cam Ward or something like that. So this is an opportunity for Brad Holmes. I understand it's 30 other teams. I'm not gonna be on him like that if he doesn't make it happen. But one thing I will never ever know, and the thing that will haunt me, is if it's the same thing if the Lions passed on Aiden. If the Jacksonville Jaguars would have taken Aiden, done deal, right? They didn't. He fell into our lap. This is the equivalent to me of us not taking Aiden, is Brad Holmes not trying 100%. You cannot leave anything on the table for Myles Garrett. That's just 100% fact. Myles Garrett is enough. If you pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson, we all automatically go from one of the worst to me. I'm sorry. Marcus Davenport, never it. Never it. Was never going to be. Not a thing. DJ Reader did what he was supposed to do. Aleem McNeil is exceeding expectations. You throw Myles Garrett on the other side of Hutch, I'm telling you right now, we would have probably the most fierce edge duo in the National Football League, if not number one. You've got 97 on one side, 95 on the other. Sorry, Pat O'Connor. And we are just crashing down. And then DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil, Calais Campbell, whoever else we bring in, somebody through the draft, will eat up that middle. Trust and believe that. Now we're relying now on the middle to push these people out. Imagine if we have the out to push these people in. DJ Reader sacks will increase. And Aleem McNeil, you can throw Broderick Martin in there. He might do good. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. I know we didn't really talk about the Detroit Lions much in this situation, but we had to talk about this because this is an opportunity, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. I expect Myles Garrett to be traded by the NFL draft, maybe even on draft day. It's going to be a blockbuster, if they still use that, and you will hear an alert that Myles Garrett has been traded. Now, I did see in the comment section that some of you guys are not going to give up 2 firsts for Myles Garrett. Have you lost your mind? Are you thinking clearly? What are we talking about here? Really? So, two first? What are we talking about? It's funny how the Rams were willing to do whatever it took for Matthew Stafford. And the fact that Matthew Stafford, they're talking about maybe getting a first for a 37-year-old quarterback. Aaron Rodgers didn't even go for a first at 37. This is crazy to me. And they got the same amount of Super Bowls. So Detroit Lions fans, we got to get off our hands. And that rhymed. That's crazy. We need to get off our hands. Y'all need to stop being so nervous and so scared. We've been good for 2 years. We've been miserable for 60, and all of a sudden we know what's up. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Make this happen. Anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. I'm going too fast. Here's what I wanted to say. It really hurts me I couldn't get down to the combine. I feel like that I'm one of the only creators with boots on the ground. Like, I am willing to spend my own money and go and all this other stuff, because not only do I want to be there, but I want to bring that information to you. But, you know, you got life, you got being a parent and all that other stuff. Sometimes things comes up and you cannot make it. I am sorry about that. I would love to have been down there. Plus, I don't want them to move it out of Indy and then I can't go, right? It's even tougher. Indy is 4.5 hour drive for me. Not a big deal. Today is the day I wanted to see. I wanted to see today. I didn't want to see any other day. I wanted to see because I don't want a cornerback. I want to know what the D-line is doing. So anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. All right. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.